The large silver spaceship hung in the sky over New York City. It did not blast buildings or shoot lasers. It just floated there, silent, for 3 days. When it finally opened, the world held its breath. The aliens that stepped out were tall, graceful creatures with blue-green skin that glowed slightly. They had 4 arms and moved like dancers. Their eyes, 3 on each face, blinked in perfect time with each other. "We are the Galactic Confederation," the lead alien said in perfect English. "We come in peace to welcome Earth to the galactic community." World leaders rushed to meet the visitors. The United Nations building buzzed with activity as representatives from every country gathered. Camera crews filmed everything. This was the biggest day in human history. Commander Zixtal led the alien group. He stood nearly 8 feet tall, with a crest of golden spines on his head that moved when he spoke. His team looked at the humans with curious eyes. "Your species has achieved much," Zixtal said to the UN General Assembly. His voice sounded pleasant, but there was something else in it, something like when an adult talks to a small child. When the UN secretary handed Zixtal a simple translation device, the alien fumbled with it. The device dropped to the floor. The secretary picked it up quickly and showed him how to use it. Zixtal's mouth twitched. He was trying not to laugh. Later in their ship, the aliens did not hide their amusement. "Did you see how they swig constantly?" asked Science Officer Voxlum, wiping her hands as if disgusted. "Their bodies leak water all day." "And they're so fragile," added Security Chief Krull. "No natural armor, weak muscles, terrible eyesight. How did they even survive to build cities?" Commander Zixtal nodded. "The elders will find this report very entertaining. These humans need constant food, water, and sleep. They can die from simple temperature changes. They can't even detect basic radiation." The alien team laughed together, a sound like tinkling bells. "Should we offer them full membership?" asked Voxlum. "No, no." Zixtal waved 2 of his 4 arms dismissively. "We'll classify them as developing curiosity. That's our category for species that somehow make it to space, but probably won't last long." Security Chief Krull checked his datapad. "They fight wars against each other constantly. Most of them still die from simple diseases, and their planet experiences regular natural disasters that kill thousands. Yet they survive," Voxlum noted quietly. "Curious. We'll send a proper research team," Zixtal decided. "Study these odd creatures more closely. The Council will want to know how such weak beings manage to build a civilization at all." As the aliens filed out of the meeting room, Voxlum lingered, looking at images of humans climbing mountains, diving in oceans, and running marathons. "They seem to deliberately put themselves in danger," she muttered. "Fascinating." Back on Earth, Dr. Ilara Singh, Earth's top expert on alien biology, received a message. She would host the alien research team at her facility in the Himalayas. The message noted that the aliens had requested a safe, controlled environment. Singh smiled as she looked out her window at the snow-covered peaks where her team routinely worked. She wondered what the aliens would think of what humans considered safe. Dr. Ilara Singh stood at the landing pad as the alien shuttle descended through swirling Himalayan snow. The wind cut through her jacket, but she didn't mind. After growing up in these mountains, -20 degrees felt almost warm. The shuttle door opened, and 4 aliens stepped out. They immediately began to shake. "Welcome to Mount Everest Research Station," Dr. Singh said with a smile. "I'm Dr. Ilara Singh." Voxlum, the lead researcher, wrapped her 4 arms around herself. "The environmental conditions here are extreme," she said through chattering teeth. This is a mild day," Dr. Singh laughed. "Come inside. We've adjusted the temperature for your comfort." Inside the research station, the aliens visibly relaxed as the warmth hit them. The humans, meanwhile, began removing layers of clothing. Many wore just t-shirts in what the station computer said was now 30 degrees Celsius. "You find this Hot? Asked Voxlim, watching the humans fan themselves. We cranked up the heat for you, said Dr. Singh. Normally we keep it around 15 degrees. Saves energy. The aliens exchanged glances. Over the next several days, Voxlim and her team set up their equipment. They recorded everything. How much water humans drank, how often they ate, their sleep patterns. They seemed puzzled by human behavior. Your species requires constant hydration, Voxlim noted while watching Dr. Singh refill her water bottle. Yes, about 2 liters daily, she replied. More when we're working hard. And you waste energy maintaining your internal temperature, added another alien, Mezco. So inefficient. Dr. Singh just smiled. The aliens didn't hide their belief that humans were poorly designed creatures. On the 5th day, the weather changed. Dark clouds rolled in, bringing winds that howled around the building. Storm coming, announced Dr. Chen, the meteorologist. Category 3. The humans moved quickly, securing equipment and checking emergency systems. No one seemed worried. What is Category 3? Voxlim asked nervously. Winds over 100 kilometers per hour, temperatures dropping to -40, possible avalanche risk, Dr. Singh explained while helping lock down the laboratory. Standard mountain weather. Standard, gasped Mezco. This is standard. Before anyone could answer, the lights flickered and went out. Emergency red lighting activated immediately. Powers down. Called a technician from another room. Backup generators engaging. The aliens huddled together, clearly frightened. Is this dangerous? Asked Voxlim. Dr. Singh checked her tablet. Just a normal storm. We get these every few weeks. The building shook as wind slammed against it. Outside, snow and ice flew horizontally past the windows. What if your backup power fails? Whispered Mezco. Then we use the manual systems, said Dr. Chen, joining them. We can survive about 3 weeks without outside help if necessary. We've done it before. The aliens stared at him in shock. Throughout the night, as the storm raged, the humans worked in shifts. They checked equipment, monitored the weather, and even found time to play cards in the common room. Someone made hot chocolate. Voxlim watched it all, increasingly confused. According to her data, the conditions outside would kill most Confederation species in minutes. Yet these humans treated it like a minor inconvenience. While the others slept, Voxlim sent a private message to Confederation headquarters. Initial assessment may be flawed. Recommend planetary classification review. These humans are unusual. 3 months passed at the Mountain Research Station. The alien team collected mountains of data, but seemed increasingly confused by what they found. This makes no sense, Voxlim said one morning, looking at her datapad. Based on physical measurements alone, humans are fragile Category 3 life forms. Your muscles are weak, your skin tears easily, and you have no natural armor. Dr. Singh nodded as she prepared her climbing gear. That sounds about right. But then how do you explain this? Voxlim showed her videos of humans working in space, deep underwater, and in burning buildings. These environments should kill Category 3 beings instantly. We adapt, Dr. Singh said simply. Today I'm taking some researchers up to the glacier. Would you like to join us? Voxlim looked out the window at the snow-covered peak. No thank you. The cold is uncomfortable. Later that day, as Voxlim analyzed more data, alarms suddenly rang throughout the station. Emergency. Hikers trapped in avalanche on East Ridge, someone shouted. The research station erupted into activity. Within minutes, a rescue team geared up and headed out into the snow. Curious, Voxlim watched through the window as the humans moved quickly up the mountain in conditions her sensors told her were lethal. The temperature was -30. The wind blew hard enough to knock over a Confederation citizen. Yet the humans pushed forward. Mezco joined her at the window. What are they doing? They will die out there. Apparently not, Voxlim said quietly. Through station cameras, They watched as the rescue team dug through snow, found 3 injured hikers, and carried them down the mountain. One rescuer fell and cut his arm open on ice, but wrapped it quickly and continued working. When they returned hours later, the humans were tired but celebrated the successful rescue. The injured rescuer got stitches and went right back to work. He should be in medical care for days, Mezco whispered. How is he still functioning? Voxlim had no answer. That night, she sent all her findings to Confederation headquarters. Light years away, in the gleaming halls of the Galactic Confederation Classification Committee, 3 senior officials stared at Voxlim's reports. These readings cannot be correct, said the first, tapping the screen. If they were, Earth would be a death planet. Yet the evidence is consistent, replied the second. Gravity 3.2 times higher than comfortable standards. Extreme temperature variations. Constant radiation bombardment. Atmospheric toxins. And yet they thrive there, added the third, an ancient being with pale eyes. They call it home. The 3 fell silent, considering the implications. Finally, the oldest one spoke again. There is a classification we haven't used in thousands of years. He moved to a secure terminal and entered a special code. The screen glowed red as ancient files appeared. The Hellworld metrics, he explained, created when our ancestors first encountered species from extreme environments. The other 2 officials looked shocked. You don't think? We must verify, the elder said firmly. If humans evolved on what we would consider a death world, we have gravely underestimated them. He began the analysis, feeding Earth's environmental data into the ancient system. As the results began to appear, all 3 officials stepped back in shock. Level 8, whispered one. That's just 1 level below theoretical maximum. Contact Voxlim immediately, ordered the elder. Tell her to proceed with extreme caution. She is not studying weak creatures. She is studying survivors of a hellworld. The message from Confederation headquarters arrived in the middle of the night. Voxlim read it 3 times, not believing what she saw. Earth, Level 8 Hellworld. She looked out the window at the snowy landscape. The humans called these deadly mountains beautiful. They climbed them for fun. How could she have missed what now seemed so obvious? Meanwhile, across the galaxy, the classification committee had called an emergency meeting. The large chamber filled with officials from all Confederation species. Councillor Tarak, the eldest member with pale skin that had seen over 1,000 years, stood to address them. We have discovered something remarkable, he began, his voice deep and slow. A species that evolved on a Level 8 Hellworld has achieved spaceflight. Gasps echoed through the chamber. What is a Level 8 Hellworld? Asked a young official. Sarak's ancient eyes grew distant. In the early days of space exploration, we discovered planets so hostile that they should not support life. We created the Hellworld scale to classify them. From Level 1, slightly challenging, to Level 9, theoretically unsurvivable. Images of Earth appeared on the large screens. Hurricanes, volcanoes, deserts, and ice fields. Earth has crushing gravity by our standards. Its temperature ranges from burning hot to freezing cold. It receives constant radiation from its sun. Its atmosphere contains oxygen, which is highly corrosive. The officials looked shocked. That's not all, continued Tarak. Earth has thousands of pathogenic organisms that constantly attack any living thing. It has weather systems that can destroy entire cities. And most remarkably, it has had apex predators at every stage of evolution. And humans evolved there. Someone asked in disbelief. Not only evolved, Tarak said quietly, but thrived. No Level 7 or higher civilization has been discovered in over 40,000 years. Humans are the only known species to develop advanced technology while constantly fighting their own planet. Back on Earth, Voxlim's research team received the full report. Their attitudes changed overnight. They now watched the humans with a mixture of fear and awe. The next morning, Dr. Singh noticed the change immediately. The aliens kept their distance and spoke in hushed tones. "Is everything okay?" she asked Voxlim. "We received new information about Earth," Voxlim said carefully. "Oh, what kind of information?" "Your planet has been reclassified. It is what we call a Level 8 Hellworld." Dr. Singh looked confused. "What does that mean?" "It means," Voxlim said slowly, "that conditions we consider fatally dangerous are your normal environment. What would kill most Confederation species is just Tuesday for humans." Dr. Singh laughed. "Earth isn't that bad." Voxlim's 3 eyes blinked rapidly. "Yesterday, I watched you drink water containing dihydrogen monoxide, a substance that corrodes metal. Your air is filled with corrosive oxygen. Your UV radiation levels would cause cancer in my species within days." As if to prove Voxlim's point, an announcement came over the speakers. "Mountain climbing expedition leaving in 30 minutes. Anyone interested in joining, meet at the east door." "Want to come?" Dr. Singh asked casually. "The view from the North Peak is amazing." Voxlim stared at her in horror. "You climb these death mountains for entertainment?" "Of course," Dr. Singh smiled. "What else would we do on a beautiful day like this?" The large Confederation ship that arrived over New York was different from the first one. This one was bigger, more impressive, decorated with golden symbols. Earth's leaders noticed the change immediately. Admiral Thorax stepped off the ship with a large team. He stood tall, with deep purple skin and 6 eyes that moved independently. He was old even by Confederation standards, having visited over 300 alien worlds. "On behalf of the Galactic Confederation, I extend our most sincere apologies," he said, bowing deeply before UN Secretary-General Okafor. The human leaders looked surprised. This was very different from the first contact. "Our initial assessment of Earth and humanity was..." Admiral Thorax paused, searching for the right word. "Incorrect. We have come to correct this error and offer proper respect." Secretary-General Okafor nodded politely. "We appreciate that, Admiral. We look forward to learning more about the galaxy." The diplomatic meetings moved to Geneva, Switzerland. The Confederation representatives now treated the humans with great respect, almost like they were afraid of offending them. During a break, Admiral Thorax approached Okafor. "If I may ask, how do your people endure this world? The gravity alone should crush most species." Okafor looked confused. "This is just normal for us." "Normal," repeated the Admiral, his 6 eyes blinking in sequence. "Your species evolved on what we classify as a Level 8 Hellworld, only 1 step below theoretical maximum hostility." Before Okafor could respond, a loud explosion rocked the building. Alarms blared as smoke filled the hallway. "Terrorist attack," someone shouted. The Confederation security team froze in panic. The human security forces, however, sprang into action. They moved through the tear gas, tackled armed attackers, and continued functioning despite injuries. Admiral Thorax watched in shock as a human guard was shot in the leg, but kept fighting, taking down 2 attackers before medical help arrived. Secretary-General Okafor herself was hit by a bullet in the shoulder. She was quickly taken to a medical room, where doctors treated her wound. "The meeting," she said, trying to stand up. "We need to continue." "You've been seriously injured," Admiral Thorax said, horrified. "You need rest, possibly extensive medical care." Okafor smiled through the pain. "It's just a flesh wound. I'll be fine in an hour." "A flesh wound." The Admiral's voice rose in pitch. "The projectile tore through your body." "Yes, but it missed anything important," she explained as a doctor bandaged her. "I've had worse from sports injuries." 2 hours later, with her arm in a sling, Okafor returned to the diplomatic table. The Confederation representatives stared at her in disbelief. Later, in their private quarters, Admiral Thorax met with his military advisors. "Did you see them?" he asked quietly. "They kept functioning after injuries that would kill most of us. They walked through toxic gas that would melt our lungs. The senior military advisor nodded grimly. If they ever decided to become aggressive, let's make sure they never have reason to, Admiral Thorax said firmly. The Confederation has encountered many species, but humans are different. They don't know their own strength because they've never needed to use it all. He looked out the window at the city lights of Geneva. They call this deadly planet home, he whispered. What does that make them? We propose an exchange, Admiral Thorax said at the next diplomatic meeting. Your specialists will train our forces, and we will share Confederation technology with Earth. The human delegates accepted quickly. Within a month, Captain Maya Winters led a team of Earth's best soldiers, firefighters, mountain climbers, and deep-sea divers to the Confederation training world called Harmonious Equilibrium. The planet was beautiful, gentle rolling hills, perfect temperature, no extreme weather. The aliens called it challenging training ground. The humans called it paradise vacation. On the first day, Captain Winters stood before 500 alien cadets. She was tall and strong with dark skin and short black hair. A long scar ran down her left cheek from a climbing accident. Today we'll start with basic survival skills, she announced. The training began simply. The humans demonstrated how to make fire, find water, and build shelter. The aliens watched carefully, taking notes. Then Captain Winters picked up a heavy pack. Now we run, she said. 10 kilometers with full gear. The aliens struggled after just 1 kilometer. Many collapsed, unable to continue. The humans kept going, not even breathing hard. Is this normal training for humans? Asked an alien cadet who sat exhausted on the ground. This is the easy part, Winters replied. On Earth, we do this in bad weather, high altitude, or extreme heat. The training continued for weeks. The humans showed the aliens how to function with limited sleep, how to ignore pain, and how to keep moving when exhausted. During a simulated rescue mission, the training facility created artificial smoke and moderate heat. The alien cadets found it unbearable. 2 young aliens became trapped in the building when they panicked. Without hesitation, Captain Winters ran into the smoke. Minutes later, she emerged carrying both aliens, one under each arm. She didn't stop until she reached the medical tent. The video of this rescue spread across the Confederation network. Winters became famous overnight. Aliens called her the human who cannot be stopped. Meanwhile, on Earth, humans were learning about Confederation technology. Special environmental chambers showed what other planets were like. For the first time, humans experienced what aliens called normal conditions. Dr. Singh stepped into one such chamber in New York. Inside, the gravity was much lower, the air was thinner, and the temperature was perfectly stable. This is how most advanced species live, explained Voxlum, who had become Earth's main scientific liaison. It's so easy, Dr. Singh said, jumping slightly in the low gravity. Everything feels effortless. This is comfortable by galactic standards, Voxlum explained. What you experience daily on Earth would be considered torture for most species. Dr. Singh looked shocked. You mean, our normal life is extremely hard by your standards? Yes. Your oceans would crush most species. Your mountains would kill them with cold and low oxygen. Even your nice days have radiation levels we consider dangerous. Humans across the world began to understand just how different they were. They hadn't realized their home was special. They'd just called it Earth. In her quarters on Harmonious Equilibrium, Captain Winters received a message from Admiral Thorax. Your team's training methods have transformed our understanding of endurance. The galaxy is watching humans with new eyes. Alarms blared throughout Confederation space. Outpost Serenity, a mining station on Moon LV-227, had sent an emergency signal before going silent. The caustic atmosphere of the Moon was leaking into the station after multiple system failures. The Confederation Emergency Council gathered quickly. All personnel will die within hours, reported the emergency director. The nearest rescue ships are 2 days away. What about the human ship? Someone asked. All eyes turned to the screen showing the HSS Tenacity, Earth's first diplomatic vessel, currently on a goodwill tour just 6 hours from LV-227. That's a diplomatic ship, not a rescue vessel, objected one council member. But it has humans on board, said another quietly. Minutes later, Captain Winters received the emergency call on the Tenacity. Admiral Thorax's face looked grave on the screen. "We would not ask this of any other species," he said. "The atmosphere on LV-227 is highly toxic. The temperature is extreme. The radiation is. How many people need saving?" Winters interrupted. 43 workers, but... "We'll go," she said simply. "Send us the station details." Her crew, including Dr. Singh, who had joined the tour as a science advisor, immediately began preparations. "The atmosphere will melt standard equipment," Dr. Singh warned, reviewing the data. "And the toxin levels are off the charts. So we modify our gear and use stimulants," Winters replied. She looked at her team. "This will hurt. A lot. Anyone who wants to stay behind can." No one moved. 6 hours later, the Tenacity reached LV-227. The moon glowed an angry orange, with storms of acid rain swirling across its surface. The humans injected themselves with medical stimulants that would have killed any Confederation species. They sealed their modified suits and landed near the damaged outpost. The moment they stepped outside, they felt the heat through their suits. The acid rain hissed as it hit their protective gear. "Move fast," Winters ordered. "Our suits won't last long." They forced open the damaged airlock and entered the outpost. Inside, they found the alien workers huddled in a sealed room, slowly running out of air. "Humans," gasped the outpost leader, a tall insect-like being. "You came in. This?" He gestured at the caustic atmosphere. "Let's get you out of here," Winters said, ignoring the question. As they began evacuating, part of the ceiling collapsed. Toxic gas poured in. The human suit alarms blared warnings. "Suits compromised," reported Dr. Singh, her voice tight with pain as the atmosphere touched her skin through a tear in her suit. "Keep moving," Winters ordered. Across the Confederation, billions of aliens watched emergency broadcasts as the humans carried survivors through acid rain and toxic clouds. Their equipment melted. Their skin blistered where the atmosphere touched it. Yet they continued, making trip after trip until all 43 workers were safely aboard the Tenacity. In the medical bay, as doctors treated the rescue team for chemical burns and radiation exposure, one of the saved aliens approached them. "You felt the same pain we did," he said in awe. "But you didn't stop. Why?" Winters, her face wrapped in healing bandages, shrugged. "That's what humans do." The alien bowed deeply. "The galaxy will never forget this day." 1 year after first contact, Earth officially joined the Galactic Confederation. The ceremony took place in the Great Hall of Unity, a massive room with crystal walls that reflected light in 1,000 colors. Representatives from 500 alien worlds watched as humans walked to the center of the hall. Captain Winters led the group, her uniform decorated with the new patch all human space personnel now wore. Earth surrounded by fire with the words "Hellworld" ascended. Admiral Thorax stood at the podium, his purple skin gleaming under the lights. "Today we welcome our newest members," he announced. "For the first time in Confederation history, we create a special designation, Hellworld Ascendant." The hall erupted in thunderous applause. Many aliens stood, a sign of highest respect. "1 year ago, we thought humans were weak," the Admiral continued. "We were wrong. They evolved on a world that should have killed them 1,000,000 times over. They call this deadly planet home. They climb its most dangerous mountains for fun. They dive into crushing oceans as a hobby. They run marathons in scorching heat because they enjoy it." He gestured to the human delegation. "During the crisis at Outpost Serenity, Humans walked through an atmosphere that would dissolve our skin. They carried our people to safety while their own bodies burned. They felt the same pain we did, but they did not stop. Dr. Singh stepped forward to give Earth's acceptance speech. She wore a simple blue dress, but around her neck hung a medal given to her by the survivors of Outpost Serenity. "Thank you for this honor," she began. "We never thought Earth was special. It was just home. We never realized we were strong. We were just surviving." She smiled at the alien audience. "Now we understand our place in the galaxy. We are the ones who evolved on a death world. We are the ones who can endure what others cannot." Her voice grew stronger. "The Confederation has explored only 20% of our galaxy. Many worlds were considered too dangerous to visit. Too hot, too cold, too toxic." She paused, looking around the hall. "We look forward to exploring these harsh environments you've avoided. And remember, when disaster strikes, when all hope seems lost in environments you cannot survive, call for the Hellworlders. We're used to it." The hall erupted again, aliens stomping, clapping, and making sounds of approval in dozens of different ways. Later, at the celebration banquet, Commander Zixtal approached Admiral Thorax. The commander looked embarrassed. "I was the one who first met humans," he admitted. "I laughed at them." Admiral Thorax nodded. "Many of us would have made the same mistake." They watched as a group of humans demonstrated Earth dances to fascinated aliens. Captain Winters was showing some cadets how to do something called the tango. "They evolved on a planet that should have killed them 1,000,000 times over. And they call it home," Zixtal whispered. "I'm never laughing at a human again." "Wise decision," the Admiral replied. "The universe is vast and dangerous, but now we have humans to help us explore it." Across the galaxy, the message spread. Beware the Deathworlders. Respect the humans. Make friends with the Hellworlders. Because someday, you might need them to save you.